I have not asked you much about Russia, mostly because the G7 and NATO are much more important, and China, than what we're talking about with Russia, and it gets way too much airtime. But briefly, how surprised have you been that the Biden administration has been focusing so much on predictability and finding areas where the Americans and Russians might be able to work together? Because it does seem that there's an effort to coordinate there.
You know, in some ways, of course, it is very surprising that you've seen this outreach, because Biden, in some ways, was the most skeptical president about both Russia and Vladimir Putin of any post-Cold War president, from Bill Clinton onwards, to come to office. But on the other side, it's not that. It's understandable. Part of being back is understanding that you need to deal with security threats, not just through bigger budgets on the military side and more deterrence, but also dialogue, and where possible, arms control and cooperation on the kinds of issues that could really, really change the world very, very quickly. And the arms control framework that was built up from President Johnson and Nixon onwards is unraveling. It's been starting to unravel for quite a while, but Trump really pulled all the threads in one go, with treaty after treaty walking away. So the first thing he does, and I think rightly so, is says, let's take the New START agreement and extend that for 5 years.
5 more years.
And now
yeah.
let's spend some time seeing, is there a way to build predictability and stability in this relationship? You know, nuclear weapons still exist, and no one wants to have a war in which those weapons would ever be used. And it is still fundamentally in our interest to make sure that the United States and Russia have the kind of predictable relationship that makes that less likely.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, the day after absolutely scared the crap out of me. And, we don't talk about it much anymore, but that balance has not changed one iota.
It hasn't, and, Joe Biden, been around for 50 years, and as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, he was the chairman when the INF treaty, the treaty that banned for the first class of nuclear missiles between the Soviet Union and the United States, was signed, and he was the chair of the committee that ratified it. So he has a deep personal interest in this area. I know this from my own interaction with him on nuclear weapons issues. So I'm not surprised in that sense. It's trying to hive off, are there places where we can work together? Can we put some guardrails on the relationship so that, one, the threat is reduced, and second, we can start focusing on what's the real long-term challenge to the United States, which is further east in China.